everybody. This is Jackie from Jackie's Lost Down a Book Hole, and I still have not come up with a different. I haven't even thought about a different introduction actually, because I ended up getting called into work today, which is actually why I'm making this video now. I wanted to make it this morning, but then I got the message on my phone. They had apparently called me at like 7:48, and I'm usually, and if I don't have to go to work, then I'm not up at that time. I'm sleeping, but I got the message at like, I think 11, around 11. So, I wanted to actually, okay, scratch that, okay, so this morning, yesterday, if you watched my previous video on what I got for my birthday, yesterday was my birthday. Well, I was able to, surprisingly, convince my mom after we went out to eat, because she ended up coming home early. And we went out to Olive Garden for dinner. And by the way, the only reason I will actually be okay with like the people, the waiters and the waitresses at the restaurant serenading me with happy birthday and all that is because of free dessert. You get free dessert. And I normally, most of the time though, I hate that. I don't like that kind of attention. Like, I like people paying attention to me, but I don't like that kind of attention. Like, I don't like being in the spotlight. So afterwards, I was able to convince my mom to take me to Books A Million, because really the only type of shopping I like is going to bookstores and sometimes clothes shopping, like any other girl does. And then, of course, going to some place to buy in DVD shopping, and then, or like CD shopping, or buying like a Funko Pop or something. But even with the clothes shopping, I'm not that obsessed with clothes like some stereotypically girls are. So I ended up, and my mom actually admitted that she was gonna get me a gift card for my birthday, from Books A Million. And she was like, you know what? I was already gonna get you a gift card anyway, so you can go, even though you got like 5 books. So I got 4 books, actually. One of them, though, it turns out I already had. It was a series book, like the fourth book in a series, and I did not realize that I already bought that one. So tomorrow, my mom, since she has to take me because she used her card, to help me out with I became a member of Books A Million again. So she used her card. And so she's going to take me tomorrow to take that book back, and I'm going to get the next one in the series that I actually do need, which is Fire Cross. I'm talking about the Outlander series. So first, before I show you the books I bought yesterday, I actually just remembered I haven't shown you guys yet. These are the books I bought the other day because, I have no self-control, and as soon as I go into the Gibbons used bookstore, I can't just go in there and read. I have to actually buy a book. And so I ended up buying Blind Assassin by Margaret Atwood, the same woman who wrote, I always forget what that is called, the dystopian about the women who are just treated like brood mares, like they're treated just for breeding. Essentially, and they made a TV series recently, but I can't remember what it's called. I always forget that. That was actually at Trivia Tuesday at work. That was one of the questions. What was that book called? And I could not remember for the life of me. But I didn't see that one, but I did. But this one was there too, and I was like, I've been wanting to read Margaret Atwood, and I could start with something that's not. It's maybe not that book, but I can start with this book. So I bought this one. And it's an international bestseller. And it won the Booker Prize. So, yeah, I've actually been focusing more on getting books that, not just literary fiction, but I've been getting a lot of books that are prize winners. And I think that I blame, and that's actually partly because, Jen from Insert Literary Pun talks about those books a lot. Every year she reads the books from the Women's Prize, and she does a review of them, and she tries to determine which one she thinks would get onto the short list. from long list. And then I got this one, Wolf Hall, which is about Thomas Cromwell, the guy. I think he's the father of Anne Boleyn, or he's like the uncle or something. Anne Boleyn, Mary Boleyn. So it's the same time as Henry Tudor, Henry the Eighth, I believe. I think it's the eighth. Why did England do that? Why do they all have the same first name and then they went by number to separate them? Like England and France did that all the time. That is just so confusing. That's just too confusing. But oh well, that was in the past. That was a long time ago, so I can't really change that. But yeah, I got this one. Yeah, so it's about that around that time. Sorry, I didn't read the book. I didn't read the back when I was there, so. So I just wanted to show you those books. Okay, so on to the books that I bought. The chair decided to move on me. On to the books that I decided to buy for myself the other day. Oh, that's not one of them. Where are they? I have one of them here. Where's the other? Where are the other two? Oh, here's one. And here's the other one. These are the ones. Like I said, the one that I ended up, the fourth one I bought was from the Outlander series. What was it called? I can't remember. It's the fourth one. I can't read it from here. I bought that one not realizing I already had that. Then I had already bought that one, and my mom bought it for me. Oh wait, no, she bought it for me yesterday. That one I bought for myself. So like I said, I need to get the Fiery Cross. So that was one of the books I bought. Not a Fiery Cross, but the other one, the fourth book in the series. And then I also bought first I needed to get the fifth book in the Fallen Kingdom series. Last time I went there, it wasn't there. So I was like, finally when I went there last night, I was like, okay, I saw and I was like, alright, I need to grab this, I need to get this. So this was definitely one I was going to buy last night. Like I said, this is the fifth book in the series. I haven't read Frozen Tides yet. I finished the third one last month, and I was waiting to get the fourth book I was waiting to get the fifth book before I read the fourth one. And then I gotta buy and now I don't know if I'm gonna wait a year before I buy the sixth one, because as you know, like in the US, most books when they first come out, they come out on hardcover, and it's like a year before you get before you can get it in paperback. And most of the time, I rather buy the paperback editions because they're cheaper. But thanks to YouTube, I'm kind of getting finding hardbacks a little more appealing and willing to spend the money on them. And since I have a job where I'm having money come in regularly, finally, I'm being a little not as cautious as I should be. Okay, so the next two books are more literary, and they're prize winners, actually. Well, no, not one of them isn't. Only one of them is a prize winner. The other one is, but it's like very popular. So the first one this was on the Women's Prize. I don't know if it was last year or if it's this year. It was on there this year. Or maybe not. I don't. Yeah, because it was on the list at one time because Jen did a review of it. I don't know which. I think it might have been last year. And that is The Lonely Hearts Hotel by Heather O'Neill. It says utterly compelling, The Washington Post. I don't know really much about it, except for it takes place in Canada, apparently. It's set in 1914. which is my favorite time period, early 1900s. But it was one thing. But Jen said it was really good, and unfortunately, yes, I say I don't do this, but yeah, a lot of time. But I guess this is kind of my way of getting caught up in booktube hype. I mean, it's not technically booktube hype. It's because of a booktuber recommend. So that's essentially what I do. If a booktuber that I really like recommends a book, unless when they talk about the books, it's just something that I'm just not into at all. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, if it's like most contemporaries, I'm not really interested in them. Like a lot of more so YA contemporaries. I'm just not interested in YA contemporaries. I will still read a YA fantasy, obviously, with Fallen Kingdoms, but I'm not big on like YA contemporary and there's other genres and subject matters that I have no interest in. But most of the time, if a booktuber I just absolutely love talks about how much they love this book, then I will consider it. I will definitely check it out. And plus, I'm trying to get more into literary fiction anyway. And that's Jen from Insert Literary Pun, and Olive from A Book Olive, and a few other booktubers that I like that I'm really getting into are kind of my way into the literary fiction genre. So I don't really know what this is about. Like I said, it's set in 1914. Okay, so it looks like it's about these two babies that grow up to be, like, one of them's a piano prodigy, and then one is a really good dancer. So yeah, it sounds like it's kind of my type of romance, because like I said, I like romance. I don't like it being the center of the plot, and I love historical romance, but I will not read, like, I have no interest in the books that you can get, like, at Walmart or the airport or something. I just have no, like, interest in Daniel Steele, or if on the cover it has, like, a woman draped over a man in a beautiful dress, whether it's historical or not, and then the man showing his chest, showing his perfect six pack, then yeah, I'm not. That's probably gonna be turned off. And I hate, like, my friend always tries to get me to read romance stuff, but it has fantasy and it has all that stuff, and it's like, no, and which is why I try not to recommend books to her, because then I feel like I'm a hypocrite, because she's trying to recommend stuff to me, and I'm immediately being like, no, I have no interest in when it's directly romance, when it's in the like, it has the label of romance genre. If it's literary or a classic, and if it is kind of a romance, then yeah, I'll check that out, because that's, to me, that would probably be, which actually, I guess in a way, that kind of makes me a bit of a book snob. I try to be open-minded, and it does bug me when book snobbery, but I guess I can't really be bothered by it, because I'm a little bit of a book snob when it comes to romance novels. But I think we all have our genres that we won't read, and that we can be a bit book snobbish about. You know, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm just saying that because I like to believe that I'm not the only one who's like that. But I'm also not going to judge someone if they read it, because my best friend reads it, you know? And if she likes it, it's great. I just have no interest in it. So, anyway. And the other book I bought for myself is the Essex Serpent. Which, I think it's magical realism from the description, because last night I did read the little back flap, the little inside flap description. It's like this woman's abusive husband has just died, and she hears about, for once she's on her own and gets to do what she wants to, and then she hears about a legend of this I guess, Essex Serpent. And it's funny, it was the last book there, and they didn't have any other copies. So I got lucky that day, and it was there. I was able to grab it. I mean, I might have had more luck with Barnes & Noble because this Books-A-Million is kind of small. So I might have had more luck at the Barnes & Noble in the next city over or whatever. But yeah, so I got this. I'm very excited. And it's so pretty. Look at this pretty cover. I love it. I love how some covers have the three-dimensional words. I think that's really cool when they do that. And this cover, I love it. I love bright covers. Like, I like colorful covers. Although I do appreciate the ones where, like, I like the UK covers where they have the white background and then the little bit of color, like the Throne of Glass books, for instance, or Mistborn. It kind of has a similar color scheme where it's like white background with the blue in it. And oh my god, I gotta take these off. Oh, it's driving me crazy. I don't actually need these. I mean, I'm not blind. I can see perfectly fine without these. It's just my eye tends to wander. You know, my right eye will drift somewhere in a different direction because I actually was born with a lazy eye. So it's more, we got these more to straighten my eyes out. And my mom did say if it doesn't really do anything and, you know, she decides, okay, we're just gonna, because you can live with where you read with one eye and then you watch TV and stuff with the other eye. I mean, I just like wearing them because they're cute. And I feel like my mom and dad spent the money, so I'm not gonna let them go to waste. And also we're trying to see if they work, if they help my eye, you know, stop moving, stop wandering. But my mom said that she could still, if it doesn't work for me, then she can wear them, and she'll just will just let me live with my eye that wanders, because I cannot do contacts. I couldn't put in there. I'd either get the actual contact lost in my eye, get stuck in there, or like I would poke my eye or something. So I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna try. We're trying these for a little while and see if they ever work. But we need to adjust them because they are driving me crazy. Like my ear, right here. If you can see, it will start to like hurt. It will irritate. Okay, so anyway, those are the books I got last night, and there's a lot of other books I need to buy, but unfortunately my mom has restricted me. She's like, okay, can you at least wait until July before you buy more books? Because I need to save my money because I have a convention to go to in July, the one I went to last year, SuperCon. We're going again this year. But yeah, let me see if I can read A Torch Against the Night, but I haven't read Ember in the Ashes yet. Tower of Dawn, yes, of course I have to wait before I can get the next Sarah J. Maas books. Wait a whole month. Which also, A Court of Frost and Starlight, that's her next book in the ACOTAR series. A book, all I've talked about this book called The Party, which is basically rich people behaving badly. It's like, the way she described it reminded me of The Great Gatsby. I think she compared it to that. Son of a Witch. I rebought Wicked, so I need to get the sequel to that one in the same kind of edition. I think it's A Tricked Time. That's another literary prize winner. It was on the long list. It wasn't on the short list. It didn't make it to the short list, but it is on the long list. My Plain Jane. I recently bought My Lady Jane. If you watched my video, I mentioned that. The Fire and Cross, like I said, I bought the other one, not realizing that I had already bought it months ago. So I need to get that one, and hopefully I'll be getting it tomorrow. And the sixth book I gotta get book 6 from The Fallen Kingdoms. I don't know if it's something immortal, like the Immortal or Immortals. I don't know what it's called. Assassin's Quest, because if you watch my video when I got for my birthday, my best friend Terry got me The first two books in the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobbs. I need to get the last book in that one. Winter, not from Lunar Chronicles, but Winter by Allie Smith. I need to get that one because Mom got me Autumn for my birthday. I requested that one, so now I want to get Winter. And then Hunting Prince Dracula, but again, I gotta read the first book first. Stalking Jack the Ripper. The thing is, I don't like reading the book before right away until I get the next book that comes after it, and then I'll read the book when it's like a series. The Crown's Fate, I got the Crown, Crown's Game. I already got Crown's Game, and I haven't read it yet. I don't know if it's Under Red Seas, or if it's just Red Seas and Red Skies. That is the second book in the Gentleman's Bastard series. I gotta read that one. First, though, I gotta read the first one. Silence of the Lambs. I finally did it. I finally started collecting the Thomas Harris books, the Hannibal series. I finally got the books. I got Red Dragon, which I used to own years ago, but I lost the book. And I got, the other one, the Hannibal Rising, which is the prequel, and Hannibal, which is the third book. I think the third book. The second book, because you have the prequel Hannibal Rising, you have Silence of the Lambs, the original first book, and then you have I don't know. I think it's the second one. I don't know if there's one between it or not, but I bought at least Red Dragon, Hannibal Rising, and Hannibal. So I gotta get Silence of the Lambs, and then I think there's one more for that series. Legendary, which is the sequel to Caraval, which I love Caraval, and I'm one of the few people apparently that loves Scarlet as a character. I know some people are like, she's such a hypocrite and everything, but I mean, I think, well, I have mixed feelings because on the one hand, I'm thinking, why are we so hard on female characters? And I mean, come on, this is just who she is. Don't diss the character just because of who she is. I mean, I love characters that are flawed, and I'm not ignoring her flaws, but at the same time, maybe it's good that they don't like her because it means that they care really strongly about the story. I just have mixed feelings about that when people hate on a character that I happen to like, and that comes from being like protective of my babies, my characters who are like my babies. Column of Fire, which I have not read Ken Follett's either of his trilogies yet. I keep thinking about getting round 2 Fall of Giants, but that is a big ass book. I'm trying to read more bigger books, but it's very difficult because they're big ass books, and it takes me so long to read those. But that's in his other series. Is it Kingsbridge trilogy. The one about where it starts with the Pillars of the Earth, where these people are making the famous cathedral. And then I got In Spite of Myself. That is a memoir by Christopher Plummer, but that one is debatable. Because I don't know if I'm into the actor to that extent. I think I'm more into Julie Andrews than him, actually. And then The Magician King, because I have The Magician's Land I bought years ago, and I finally got The Magicians, which is the first book. And I've been watching the series, so I kind of get the gist of what goes on in the books. But I have been told, people have said in reviews that it's better to read the books all at once. Because of just the characters are unlikable. They're all assholes. It's kind of I think it's kind of a satire on the fantasy genre. But I mean, I've already watched the show, so maybe that will help. Like I said, I'm on restriction by my mom. My mom was like, can you at least wait until July before you buy any more books? No, I don't know if this is the second book or not, but I recently bought for Library Soul, the sale, The Goddess Test, which is kind of a modern retelling of the famous Hades and Persephone story. And I remember Sam on Thoughts on Tom's is a big fan of the Persephone Hades mythology, and that's one of the ones that she read. Now I don't remember if she actually liked it or she was like, it's okay for, because it's YA, and YA sometimes is not as good quality as adult retellings. But that's what I'm looking for. That's why I have no interest in reading Rick Riordan. I mean, maybe I will someday, but if I'm going to read a retelling about mythology and open the door to mythology, I would now, at my age, I want to read adult stories. Like, this probably, I think because I'm, like, almost, like, I'm just turned 29, so I feel like my tastes are a little bit more mature. I mean, although I still love YA. Don't get me wrong, I really do, but like my friend Terry, there are limits to how much YA I'll read, essentially. And I just maybe I will someday. Maybe if my nephews get into Rick Riordan, I'll read it then. I don't know. But right now, if I'm going to read some retellings about mythology, I'm going to read adult ones. And there is an adult version of the antiquity story of, I can't remember which one. Jean from Bookish Thoughts read it, because she's a huge fan of antiquity. And she reads a lot of, she likes checking out retellings of some of those, of like Iliad and the Odyssey and all that kind of stuff. Okay, this video is getting really long, so let me keep going. So I think Goddess Interrupted is the second one, but I don't know. But either way, I need to get the second one in that series. Of course, watch me not like it at all. And maybe it's a good thing that I don't have the second one of some of these series, because I might not like it. But although I'm very easy to please anyway, so I'll probably like it. The next, I need to get Lady Midnight, which was Cassandra Clare's next series. The problem is, the farther away I get from Cassandra Clare, the less it appeals to me. Not that I still like it, like I still, just like I still have a soft spot for Twilight, but I'm starting to slowly lose interest. But I feel like I can't entirely give up the show just yet, because I have a group. I created this group last summer, and I feel like I need to keep it going, because I still do enjoy the series. It's just I haven't been in the mood to watch it. But unfortunately, I have like 5 episodes to catch up on before they get deleted. So yeah, I gotta get Lady Midnight. Song of Achilles. I have her Circe book, her novel. I have that one, but I don't have Song of Achilles yet. Surprised I never got around to reading it, because at the time I had no interest in it. But now that I've started reading Circe and I bought that, I'm like, okay, I feel like I need to check out Song of Achilles. And then The Forest House is the second book in the Avalon series. The first one being Mist of Avalon, and that's the one with the book that movie is based on. The movie is based on the one with Juliana Margulies, Angelique Houston. Michael Vartan, that's his name. Where it's kind of like the retelling of the Arthur myth, but through the eyes of Morgan Le Fay. And then there's a lot of books in that series, I noticed. That's the second one. And the third one is Lady Avalon. And then this next one is, I recently, at the same library sale, I got the Goddess Test. I also got the Demon King. So now I also have on here the Exiled Queen. Like I said, I like to get the next book in a series before I read the one that I recently bought. So I need to get that one. So those are all the books I need to get for at some point, but I'm gonna have to wait. And sorry, I love how the sky does this when it has kind of a yellowish hue to it. I don't know if you can guys see it, but when you probably can't really tell from looking through my computer, but it's like it has this, either pre or after rain yellowish color. I don't know, I think that's so cool and so surreal. Like, it's like a bit fantastical almost. I just think it's really cool when the air in the sky does that, and it has kind of a yellowish look to it. I wonder if my dogs are. Well, anyway, okay, so I better end this video now before it gets too long. So, have you guys bought recently any books? Do any of you guys are any of you guys May birthdays? If you are May birthday, what'd you do for your birthday? Did you buy books like I did, or got books like I did? So, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and click subscribe if you haven't already into my already subscribed subscribers. Love you guys, and I hope you're enjoying your reading. Alright, bye!